Have you ever wondered, how does the rubber hit the road? Well, how does the road get there in the first place? We're going to find out. Zooming up to Hannibal, Missouri, to Continental Cement, a company of Summit Materials. Let's look inside and see how concrete is made. Fantastic. I've always wondered, how do you get the rock out of the mountain and onto the road? And now with us to tell us a little bit more about his work at Continental Cement Company is Nick Marks, Senior Director of Technical Services. Nick, welcome to Manufacturing Day 2023. You have the shop floor.
All right, thank you. Excited to be here. So it's great event and excited to be a part of it. So my name's Nick Marks. So I work for Continental Cement. You saw in the video just an overview. So Summit Materials is a construction industry company, construction and building materials. So we have asphalt, aggregates, ready mix, and then cement. So within Missouri, we kind of have all of them. So in our Columbia plant, we do aggregates and also ready mix in Columbia, Missouri. In Kansas City, we have ready mix with a Ham group. And in Continental Cement, we have a couple of facilities. So we have our corporate headquarters here in St. Louis. We also have a terminal in St. Louis, and then our manufacturing plant in the Hannibal, Missouri location, which has been there for over 100 years. Fantastic facility. We also have Green America, which we can talk a little bit about later. So if you've ever bought some concrete to put in a fence post or a mailbox, when you open it up, you see the gray powder inside. So the shots you saw at the end of that video were everything that it takes just to make that gray powder. So we mine limestone from the ground. We grind it down, mix some materials in. We burn it inside of our kiln, which is over 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. It comes out, we grind it again, and then that is what becomes cement, right? Which is a hydraulic. You mix it with water, and it gets hard. And it's really the backbone of all the construction that you see. If you walked on a sidewalk today, drove across a bridge, all that is concrete, and it's really a cornerstone of our built-in infrastructure that we see. So again, I'm a senior technical director. I've been in the industry about 18 years. I spent 13 of that in cement plants doing all kinds of work, quality, process, operations. And now I serve as senior technical director, which means I do a couple of things. One is I help our plants develop quality management systems and new products. I also help them run the plants efficiently. So how do we integrate innovation into our plants? And then the last piece is really on sustainability goals. So not only do we make products and we hire people to do so, but we have to be good neighbors in our community. And how do we develop a roadmap in order to do that? So it's an exciting industry. And at this time, I'd love to answer any questions if there's any in the panel.
Yeah, Nick, we'll start opening it up for Q&A. I have a couple of quick questions. So you mentioned a couple different roles that you work in. What's been one of the most rewarding for you?
I think the most rewarding is looking at innovations that we put inside of our plant. So, a lot of that takes teamwork. It understands, it's a lot of interaction with industry about what technology is coming along, which ones fit best into our plants, and then how do we integrate those, which really takes teamwork from everybody. Particularly when we look at innovation now, it's engineering applications, it's design, it's bringing in the IT portion of that, because a lot of it's going to digital type of information, and really making sure that we're doing so in a way that keeps the industry safe, that makes us more efficient and productive, and also plans ahead for our longevity, because we've been here a long time and we plan to continue operating for a long time as well.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple different things there in process and improvement and innovation. What would it take for somebody, if I'm a high school student and I wanted to go right into, working for Continental, what would you look for?
Yeah, the thing I tell everybody is, look, we didn't just wake up and were born knowing cement, right? So it's something just like everything else in life that you learn along the way. For me, the biggest thing I look for is just two things, right? One is curiosity. So are you interested in learning new things? Because curiosity will get you a long ways. If you're just interested in learning, whether it's IT systems or technology or HR systems, like just being curious is really goes a long way in industry. The other one is just hard work, right? Like it takes a lot of work to understand this. Everyone is capable of doing that. And within not only our company, but all the ones seen today, there is a place for everyone, right? So again, curiosity in HR, that curiosity and hard work, that's the great start. And from there, you can take off and do anything you want to do.
Outstanding. I think time and time again, from Continental to Nike to Toyota and everybody in between, that has been one of the key pieces for success. So we do have some questions starting to trickle in, and the first one is from Chillicothe High School. How many different cement mixes do you manufacture?
Yeah, good question. So we actually make just the powder, right? And so that's all that we make. From our side, we only make one cement. So it's a limestone cement called Portland limestone cement. And that is really what goes into all the concrete that you see. So we really only make one product. There are a couple different around the country, but for us, we only make one. That's mostly used. But with that cement, when we go on the concrete side and the ready mix trucks that you see, there are hundreds and thousands of those mixes. It really varies on what you want to do. Do you want to put in a sidewalk? Do you want to build a parking deck or a high-rise building? Do you want to build a dam? Right? They have for 2 years or 100 years. They're built for 50 years and last way beyond that. So concrete is a very adaptable material in that it can be designed in many different ways for whatever application you need. So one cement, but with that, when we combine it with other materials to make concrete, we can get into thousands of different mixtures.
So next time I'm looking to replace my driveway, what kind of concrete do I need to ask for cement?
Right. So yeah, so that was what I would say the general use, right? So typically you just want a general use is going to get about 4,000 PSI in about 7 days. And just make sure you follow all the instructions of your contractor, and that's what you're going to get. So nothing special, no high-rise parking decks. But again, you just want the general one.
Excellent, because mine's starting to break up, so it's time. Chillicothe High School has one more question. What's one of the biggest recent projects that your cement has been used on? Good question, Chillicothe.
Yeah, that is great. So we're all up and down. A lot of our cement was used, if you're familiar, on the new MLS soccer stadium here in St. Louis. A lot of our cement was used in that one, and that's probably the most high profile right now, especially with the way the season's
Yeah,
going.
go City.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, you kind of mentioned earlier, Sydney asked, how long does it take to make a road?
That's great. So good question, right? So, when we think about making a road, a lot of times we think about just the paving side, and that portion actually goes pretty quickly. It's a lot of the preparation that takes a lot of time, right? So you drive by a road and you see this road, it takes forever to get built. A lot of that is we have to build the subgrades, we have to level it off, we have to pack down to make sure, because what will happen is you don't want the soil underneath the concrete shifting. That's what causes the concrete to break. So you have to have a nice hard base. Then we have to set everything up and pave it. But interesting enough, actually the paving itself goes very fast. They use machines to do that. So you kind of drop the concrete in front of it and you pave over the paving machine. They can do over a mile a day, which actually goes very quickly. It's coming back and fixing the shoulders and putting the paint down and those types of things that typically take long. But just building a road itself actually can go very quickly.
So pretty much a mile a day they can get done. Wow.
A mile a day when they get going. So it's quick.
We have another question that came in. Mrs. Blakely's middle school in St. James, Missouri asks, what is the education requirement for working with your company?
Oh, it's great. Great question. It's great to see you're thinking about that in middle school already. So the good news is there's all types of education, right? So, you can walk in out of high school and we have jobs ready for you, right? There's also, we take a lot of engineers, we take business professionals, whether it's IT, HR, environmental sciences, right? So we can use all different ones of those. The other thing, and I think it was mentioned earlier, is this is also a great place to receive education. So if you're not sure what you want to do yet, but you're interested in the industry, again, you can come on as interns or you can come into our sites as new employees with little to no education. You'll learn a lot on the job. And we also have programs where you can get your school paid for, right? So if you're working and you can go to school online or at nights, and you can get your education paid for while you work, which is fabulous, especially a way to accelerate, right? So now you have industrial knowledge and some education behind that. So short answer is a little or no education or high education. We need each and every one.
It sounds like there you could start pretty much from the ground floor day one after graduating from high school and work your way up.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, another technical question for you, Nick. Mrs. Yoko's class in Chillicothe asks again, can your cement powder be used as a base for things like self-healing concretes?
Yeah, great question, and I'm impressed with keeping up on the technology of the concrete. Yeah, so self-healing concrete, really what it does is sometimes concrete cracks, right? It's just kind of inherent, particularly, again, we talked about shifting. And self-healing concrete has some extra pieces in there that as cracks occur, it'll continue to hydrate and seal those back. So ours can be used as a base for that. When you look at that, they put in some other ingredients to make it happen. But absolutely, we can be used as the base component in that. So very exciting.
Excellent. I think Mrs. Yoko's class is going to get a pizza delivered over there one of these days, asking great questions like they are. So, Nick, as we kind of move on to our final segment, what are some words of wisdom for young people out there watching Manufacturing Day? What would you say, hey, this is what I would pay attention to if I were you getting ready to go into high school or graduate?
Yeah, again, thanks for the question. I think a couple of things, right? Looking back, one, again, curiosity gets you a long way. So if you're not sure what you want to do, that's fine, right? So, but go out and see what's available, right? I think this is a fantastic event today to see all the different opportunities available within your own state, right? So just, again, go out, learn a little bit. My other advice is be confident in yourself, right? Again, each and every one of you are fantastic individuals, and there's a place at every one of these companies today for you to contribute and to be successful. So be confident in yourself and be willing to raise your hand and say, hey, that sounds like a tough task, but I'm willing to take it on. And those two things will get you forward. So
fantastic. Well, Nick, thank you so much for joining us today for Manufacturing Day 2023. I know the next time I step foot on some concrete, I'll be thinking of Continental Cement and the great job that you guys do.
Thank you very much. Enjoy everybody. Thanks for the great questions.